the heart of a snow-blanketed valley in Germany lies a house that time forgot. The locals call this place the Dwarf House, a modest half-timbered structure cradled by the mountains, its story hidden beneath layers of snow and silence. Inside, the air carries the faint, earthy scent of a life once lived. The last known name tied to this place was Charlotte. Her life, humble and rooted in the rhythms of farming, is etched into the very bones of this home. Religious artifacts and handwritten notes speak of faith as steadfast as the mountains surrounding her. A faded birthday card from her church community hints at the connections she cherished, even as time and the elements conspired to take it all away. For nearly 3 decades, this tiny house has stood abandoned, its walls guarding the history of long winters, quiet celebrations, and the hushed tone of a simple life. Today we step into the past, where snow and time have wrapped this house in its icy embrace. What will we uncover? And what stories will this forgotten gem share before it crumbles into the earth it was built upon? Let's explore the Dwarf House together and piece together the fragments of its story.
Explomo.
Welcome everybody. As you can see, we are surrounded by a magical scenery, very snowy. We're exploring in the December months in the mountains of Germany, and our destination is actually right over there. We're now walking to it. I'm really curious what this house is going to be like. It's not a very big property. It's actually a relatively tiny in size, but nonetheless, I do think it's definitely worth to capture this place today and show it with you. Now, wow, doesn't this look magical? This is what I love about exploring in the winter months. Of course, it's cold and you have to brave that biting cold, but have a look. The property, very traditional German house built in a timber design, hasn't seen life for almost 30 years. Incredible. The entire roof is covered with snow. I just cannot wait to go inside. And I think you also are really curious to see what the interior looks like. So follow me along. We're gonna go inside and explore this timeless beauty. From the biting cold snow outside, we're making our way inside the home now, and we just entered the shed part. You can tell this is a very old home, as you've just seen at the outside. Used to be a farmhouse of people that earned their livelihoods with farming. Lived there very traditionally, years and years ago. Even the hay and the straw is left. And where probably used to be some poultry inside. They had their chicken that laid some eggs. Sometimes I would just love to go back to the old days and actually get an insight of the life of such a farmer back in the early 1900s. Just creating some farm products and eventually selling it through the people over here locally in the town. Just seems a very careless life. Of course, it's a life of hard work, but I just love the beauty of simplicity. Back in the time, there are not such jobs that do exist nowadays. There have become so many new jobs. You can't imagine how different life was back then until you step inside of these old buildings, at least as a young person that I am from my perspective. Wow, a very old wooden carriage. I think it's a baby crib actually. Wow, let's make our way inside this room. Used to be a bedroom with this wonderful old wooden bed, an antique stove, oh, what's that over there? It's actually a paper and it says Goldene Hausfreund. In German that means golden house friend. I think it was given to the person that lived there by a very close friend that wanted to express his or her gratitude. Curious if there is still something going to be inside these cabinets. Well, there is something inside. It's very moldy food. Oh, some jars with coffee powder that is again very moldy. And those are like little berries or something. Alright, let's close it up again. Oh wow, a little ink pot over here. Vintage radio as well. Oh, you can literally see the cobwebs spreading out as I'm opening this little door. I'm the first person touching this in decades. Calendar over here. It doesn't really say a year. Oh, I believe the year is 1996, and this means the third month. Alright, 1996. If that's the last date, this place would already be abandoned for almost 3 decades. I did forget to point out this little print over here. It's actually from Jesus Christ. These people were of religious faith. As you can tell, there is a massive hole over here in the floor. And as you can also see, I think there used to be a stove here with the chimney of the home to keep each and every floor provided with heat and warmth during times of winter. You can just see a spider crawling inside. Some more jars that were probably used to store some food or even can some food for the sparse winter periods. like you can see over here. There are so many drawers. Wow, a lot of old tools over here in this drawer. More tools, a lot of tiny nails. All their appliances like you often see in a basement part. Although there also was a bedroom, that's something you don't often see. But I think given that the size was limited in his home, compared its modest size, they just had a spare bedroom there, maybe for friends or guests, whenever they came over. Wow. Seems that this was the kitchen of the place. As I told you, I think that the home became abandoned during the festive period. There was a lot of Christmas decoration inside. We're gonna see more of that in the upstairs as well. A lot of jars and tins over here on display. And this was probably the part of the chimney. So on the other side there was that hole, and that was where a stove was once standing. There is another pipe, and that one was for the furnace of the kitchen, with the oven right underneath it. 𝗦𝘁cie𝗿𝘆𝗶 is the brand. Most likely German. I've never seen before. Hoping to find some kind of expiration date to know a more precise date of abandonment. But there are not a lot of food products left inside. On the one hand, that's fortunate. It's not very smelling and rotting inside. On the other hand, it can tell and learn you a lot. A tiny table. I'm wondering if this was also the table they would have breakfast and dine on, because there is only one chair right now. Maybe chairs have been stolen. But the table is also quite little in size. Let's have a gaze at this magazine. If there is a date on this. No, there isn't. But over here there is a date, 1999 on that one. Oh my, look how cute this is, near to collapse. I'm just gonna leave that for what it is. I respect that. Very cozy laces. I think that already covers it up for the basement level. Now the top floor is definitely where the magic happens. So I'm really excited. Let's now head upstairs, and I can't wait to show it to you. I'm beyond excited to show what's waiting for us on the next floor. First of all, the upstairs stairwell, right over here. And I find this so strange. The location of this toilet. Just in the upstairs stairwell. Zero privacy at all. I think they really didn't mind in the family to see the other person sitting on the toilet. As you can tell, there is also a hole over here. I can see some animal droppings on the ground. It can possibly be from a cat. I always find it so unreal that even The toilet paper is still lying in the toilet holder. If we look out of the window, you can actually see a little river crossing. Water is still flowing. It hasn't frozen, even though it's very cold outside. Then over here, we have the first room of the upstairs. I also just want to tell you that this is the messiest room of the upstairs. They just dumped a lot of items in here that they temporarily wanted to get rid of or just store them. Oh my, check that out. There's even just a hole in the wall. Wind is just easily circulating inside the home. And also for the rainwater, that's just easily coming inside right now. I think this actually used to hang over here to cover the passage to the attic. Electricity meter over here. We tried to read the last date of this home, that it was inhabited, because there is still a date on this little paper, but it's very hard to read the year, but we think 2007. And then the living room. Wow. Like I told you, it's gonna be magical over here. I really love this room. Completely left me in awe. Over here, a little angel with a candle saying Merry Christmas. And also over here, a snowman. I also really like this cabinet. There's still a few things on the shelves. Glasses, tiny bowls. And some books, 1985 and 1978. Tiny stove over there in the corner. There is also a frame of Jesus Christ. Well, the main eye catcher of the items on this table is definitely the gnome statue over here. There is some paperwork. I'm not sure what it exactly is. It's also not readable anymore. But this one is a little bit readable. It's from 1951, from the bank. And like I told you, it was Mrs. Charlotte that lived there. In English you would probably say Charlotte, but yeah, that's how you would say it in German, Charlotte. Another beautiful cabinet over here. As you can tell, pictures and everything have been taken. Only the religious artifacts are left. But it seems that this is all empty. There is still a little teddy bear hanging on the door, where it even says, "Best wishes for your birthday from your church community." They definitely attend a church every Sunday. Meaning they were religious farmers, also praying for, I'm not sure what the word is, but I'm feast, praying for a good feast. At least a fruitful harvest, that's the word. And there is also a cat scratching bowl over here. So there was also definitely a cat running around through this home. Connected with the living room, we have a bedroom with 2 beds. And there was a bedroom downstairs. And we're even gonna find a master bedroom that's still about to follow. Christmas tree over here. Ornament hanging on the wall. Meet God. It's talking about God. Unreal. This is a very old place. I think it's been abandoned for a very long time. But the clothes are still inside the wardrobe. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I hadn't even checked it out. And also next to the bed, shoes are still standing on the ground. As you can tell. Unreal. Okay. It's time to head to the final room on this level. And you already knew what it was. The master bedroom. I just love it. It's simple, but it's beautiful. Colors of the walls are matching the colors of the bed frames. Wallpaper is losing, and there's also a lot of dark, dusty cobwebs. Curious what's in here. Well, that one is empty, except for the clothes hooks on the ground. Oh wow. This really gives me the vibe of the place we're exploring right now. In a tiny town in the mountainous forests of Germany. Now ultimately the attic awaits us, but I'm not sure how safe this is. Doesn't feel very safe. There is also not a whole lot to see here, but you can tell there is roof leakage. Snow is literally coming inside through there. Alright, well, just gonna have a seat here, and with that having shown, guys, we made it to the end point of the video. I genuinely hope you enjoyed it. It was a little place, but I still wanted to capture it for the channel. And if you do appreciate it, not only visiting aristocratic places like castles or big mansions, but also the simple farm homes, then please show your gratitude by smashing the thumbs up button and leaving a comment down below. If you want me to see more episodes just like this one, also feel free to subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support us on these travels because it's a quite costly hobby, then feel free to check out the links in the description to become a channel member or either support us through PayPal or Patreon. And then I will see you on the next adventure. Hopefully it's not going to be as cold as it was during this one, and we'll see. Thank you and peace out.